Hi everyone, this is part 2 of the last video that I just posted because I was talking about messages that are sent to you from Etsy and whether you really need to pay attention to those or not. This message that's going out now to people, and this is why I thought about this topic, is alt text. And Etsy is telling people, add alt text to your photos. You can do it. You've been able to do this for at least 8 months, if not a little bit longer, because I did another video about this a while back. I will link to that at the end, and it goes into it a little more in depth. But alt text is basically text that you put in the information about the photo. And then if someone has a screen reader because they're blind or they just can't see the screen or the picture doesn't show up, sometimes that happens. And have you ever seen the picture where it doesn't really load up and then it says in there like picture of an apple? That's alt text. And it's there for screen readers to be able to read what's in the photo so that people who can't see the screen can actually understand what the photo is. It is not really meant for search. It's not really meant for search engines to read and to help rank that picture anywhere, but it is used by search engines to figure out what the picture is so that in image results, like in Google Images, it can show those pictures if that's the search term. So what Etsy is doing with this is they're trying to get people to add alt text so that Etsy pictures get indexed better on Google. Now, one thing that you need to understand as a beginning Etsy seller is that when Etsy talks about SEO, which is search engine optimization, they are not talking about search on Etsy. When Etsy says SEO, they mean search outside. So Google, Yahoo, Bing, all the outside search engines. They are not talking about Etsy search. When they say Etsy search, then they're talking about Etsy's individual search engine. But when they say Etsy SEO or just SEO, they mean the outside search engines. So this message that people are getting is a little confusing because it says, put alt text in your photos and it will help people who are visually impaired understand them. That's what it's meant for. That's right. And then it says it can also help your listings be found in visual search or image search on search engines. Okay. But people are taking that to mean that it's going to help you in Etsy search, and that's not what it means. It means that outside search engines that have a photo section or an image search section might be able to find your images better. The chances of that are very low. I wouldn't worry about it. And there are regulations about alt text. And again, I'll go into that in the video that I'll link at the end. But the fact is that if you do not add alt text to your photos, the title from the Etsy listing is what's used as the alt text. So if you have listing photos that are just the photos of the item and the title describes what that is, then you can pretty much leave it. And as long as the person who comes along and has that image that they can't see and the screen reader is reading it, it'll read the title of the item. So that's okay. Now, there are reasons why you wouldn't want to do it, but if you do put alt text in, do it the right way and don't do it just for SEO because that's not what it's meant for. It's meant to help people who are visually impaired be able to understand what is in that individual photo. And you don't need to do the way that Etsy describes as very excessive. And there's just no reason for it. So go watch this video next. I will talk to you later and you can make your own decision about your alt text, but don't worry about it because the title will be in there if you don't put anything in.